Hey y'all country man. I'm doing a little video on what I used to do back when I was a kid. I think it may come in handy in the future. Before I get to the project, I want to show you my tools. My sister-in-law got this for me. It is a Winchester multi-tool. And I can't believe I hadn't lost it, but I've had this 10 years or better. Still works just fine. I've got some number 16 gauge wire. I suggest going bigger, which is a smaller number, maybe a 8 or a 10. This stuff is awful flimsy, but it works. I'll show you what I'm doing in a minute. I've got some 4-inch strap hinges. They work pretty good. I have a saw off of a coping saw. These are the legs that go down. I put my super duper duct tape, got them up out of the way, and I had me a saw. I had to rip one board that, I couldn't get it all the way in. So I took this out and ripped the board by hand, just using a rag and a saw blade, and then put my saw back together. Having said all that, believe it or not, these cute little vice grips I got from Publishers Clearinghouse. I used them. And assorted screws. I got some long screws. And I don't know where they are. Hang on. I got some number 8 3/4 inch screws. If I had it to do over, I'd get 1 inch, but that's no biggie. And these are Phillips head, of course. So these are the tools that I use to make my project. I am going to pause the video right now and get back over in my chair where you can see what I made, and I'll get right back to you. Hang on. Hey y'all, here's my finished rabbit box. I'm going to redo the trigger. Don't worry about that. The stick on here in the front's a little bit loose. Don't worry about that. You guys do a better job than I did. I threw this together for a video. What we do here is we got this big long stick, and we got our trigger that goes down in the trigger hole, and it sets right there like that. Now, this is a low profile trap. It's only about 7 inches when she's set. I've got my strap hinge here, 4-inch strap hinge. And on the outside of it, I got this long stick screwed to this. And I'll screw it down better. You want this to weigh heavy. And there's a reason for that in a minute. But as you can see, I've got some blue bag on here. Get you some red tape or fluorescent green, something that will blend in with the fall nature that nobody else will see. But if there's a kind of a orange little flag down there or yellow in some weeds, you'll know what it is, because when you trip the trap and that goes up, your flag's going to be up in the air. Make yourself a better trigger. I'm going to redo this. But here's it goes down and it flops right down. You want your door heavy, so when it flops, it slams shut. Right here on the front, I've got a wire. What that wire does, it's when the trap, you put, close it, open the trap. But see, if it goes slow, it'll just hang right there and your rabbit will get out. But I'm going to put a little more weight on here and a better trigger. So when it goes down, this wire, it goes past the wire, and now the door won't open. You can wiggle that door, do whatever you got to, and it will not open. I'm thinking seriously about, I screwed this wire, twisted it, made it stronger. but I'm going to put one on each side, a single wire. And all you want it is to where it won't open. This can get knocked over the whole bit and not fall over. Now, in the wintertime, when you're using these, I usually don't put bait in them. A rabbit will find him a good warm spot, and inside this box, he's out of the wind, he's nice and warm. It's just like a rabbit den. If you're going to use bait, use something only a rabbit will eat. Maybe I've never used bait, but I've heard here lately that if you put you some alfalfa cubes in the back, the rabbits will go in there. Nothing else eats alfalfa cubes except maybe a deer or a cow, and put them on the other side of the fence from the cows. And the deer, I doubt they're going to bother. It's just too much trouble for them. But once it goes down, you got your little flag here. You can see this with even by binoculars or not. If it was orange, you could see this from a mile, quarter mile away. And you don't want to be around your traps all day. You get human scent there. People's watching you, wonder what you're doing, and you don't want them to get to your traps in the morning before you do. So kind of set them out of sight, out of mind. City slickers wouldn't know what it was if they bit them. Country folks have good respect and not to mess with your other people's traps. It's all the other idiots that in between that we got to worry about. But the main idea is for your strap here, strap hinge, your trigger down here that locks the trap door where it won't come up, and then a good trigger here. I make a little L right here. It comes out, down, and then back across. Well, maybe you can see it. It's got a little crook in it right there. That's what you want. You just want it barely hanging in your hole underneath that lip. And that way it just barely sits in there. I mean, I could just touch that just a little bit and it goes ahead and shuts. I'm going to redo my wire down here because it's not doing what it's supposed to. Once you get your down here, you turn that just a little bit, and you want it to, with more weight on here, I'm going to put me another board up here, what I'm going to do. And once you hit that, it will close, and you're good to go. Now, I've got, I spent 20 bucks on 4 hinges, wire, and screws, and I've got enough to make 4 boxes, and the wood was free. So what I'm saying is, if you got to do this, I can do it. You've seen the tools I use. I've done it right here in the front room, and it's easy made. Give me a thumbs up if you like it, and if I can do it, anybody can. Countryman out for now. God bless. I'm doing this video disabled. Look, I got a dadgum hangnail on my finger right there, and on this one I got a cut right there. I've got 2 war wounds, and I still done a video. If I can do it, anybody can.